But man, first segment of the Garden Within, bro.
That's too much math for me right now.
But
It's too
it's
much
okay.
math for me
It's
right now.
okay. It's okay.
Yes.
The purpose of this for me, I just wanted to see. I have a series about how people live with the creative mind, see their disciplines, their responsibilities, and the reality behind that. These are two of my close friends, Jermaine and Omari, right here. Say a couple things about yourselves. Jay, you want to go first, then Omari.
And what's happening? This is Jermaine coming to y'all, not Cole. We're in Brooklyn, New York, via PG County, Maryland. I do a whole lot, as everybody does nowadays, but mainly I delve into music and documentary style production, as well as scripted stuff too sometimes, but that's my bread and butter. And I'm a professional life enjoyer over everything to me, though.
Living life, Omari.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Just what was the question? Introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself a little bit. For those who don't
Okay, this
know.
ain't formal, right? Because
It ain't
I'm
formal.
not formal.
Just let us know. This Omari, where you from? That's good
Hey,
enough.
yo, this your boy Omari T. Right in front of Budget now. I've been living in New York for 10 years now. Got my bachelor's degree in film and TV from the how you say, illustrious?
I don't know, but all I heard was
From
masters.
the illustrious, from the illustrious St. John's University. Can I get that?
Illustrious. Come on now. Go Johnnies. Let's get
Go
it, man.
Johnnies, go Birds.
But man, me, Jay, and Omari, we
Currently
met.
been working in the industry. Sorry, you said
Now
something?
you can go ahead, Omari.
Oh, okay. I've currently been working in the industry, film and TV for the past 5 years. Past jobs, I would say Matt Projects, the agency, MTV, for a good 3 years. And currently at Complex, I work as a producer on the video team. More of my background, I'm a filmmaker, film junkie, not too much, but a little bit. I love writing, I love art, I love movies, I love music, I
Beautiful.
love
Art
fetting. That's
appreciator.
one thing too.
Art appreciator.
I love fetting.
Art appreciator. Art lover. General creative. Nah, Jay, and Omar, we met shit at this point 10 years ago. 10 years ago in beautiful Queens, New York at St. John's University, just like where both of them said they're proud graduates from.
Yeah, that's a long time ago for
I don't
10
know
years.
about proud, but I flew with them though. We number two in the conference, man. Catch me at the tournament.
We there. But for both of y'all, I feel like both of y'all have been making films, producing films, and doing all different types of visual creative work even before you went to school for video production and production of that nature, right? So
That's right. That's right.
when you guys were younger, when do you feel like that creative bug first hit you? One of the first creative projects that you was just freely creating in a way, just like, oh shit, you found something you liked or did something you liked, and then after you just did it, you realize, oh my gosh, I created something.
This is, I want to say, sixth grade. I can't remember what exact year it was. That whole era is a little fuzzy in my head, but I know I've always told people the same story. Sorry if y'all hear the ambulance in the back. It's Brooklyn,
Yeah,
but
it's coming from my mic too, bro. This is New York living.
NYC, man, what do you
no,
do?
but around the sixth grade, honestly, everybody has some sort of origin. It could have been way before that in terms of just me getting into, honestly, literature at first. And I always loved two things, music videos, and I always loved literature, writing books, articles. I loved a lot of that. But I remember I had a task of writing a story. This is for middle school. Anybody who went to my middle school remembers. And everybody had to present it. I don't know what this was, but the parents and everybody showed up. It was the faculty, your family. And you would read this in front of the class first. And that was really the only requirement. And I remember for me, I had put so much thought into this quote stupid school assignment. And no joke, God, if I'm lying, strike me down. I called it Cinder Keisha. And I was going to a white school at the time, and we had to do some sort of spin on an original story. So I took Cinderella and made Cinder Keisha. And I actually found the manuscript for Cinder Keisha, and I read it in front of my class, me being one of the only Black kids at this school. And I remember just looking up after I read the story, thinking like they're gonna hate this ghetto story where like LeBron is the lead and Keisha is like Cinderella. And I remember people being like, "You need to read this in front of the school." So I took it out of the classroom and read the story. Like they wanted to hear the rest. I ended up reading the rest of the story. Everybody loved it. They were like, "We love it. I can't believe you sat there and wrote that spin." And that's the first time I was like,
Oh shit, I made something. I seen something that I enjoyed, and I made my own spin to it. Literally, I literally took something and put my own personal flavor into it. just like how you in this school putting your own personal flavor into the fucking school.
And I always kept it black. I always kept it me, and that's one through line I've always wanted to maintain throughout everything creatively. Is like even in the midst of like me being in a completely different environment, I always kept it me. And even if in my brain I thought this is too much for this type of audience, I was adamant on keeping the essence of where I'm from and the type of stuff I consumed growing up in the things that I make. So
What
What was
about
the
you,
title
Omari?
again?
It was more just like what was the
Tinder
first
piece.
one of the first times for you when you feel like you made something creative, Omari, or you felt like you didn't even might have intentionally did it at first, but when you look back, you were like, oh shit, that was the first time I made something for real.
And like I don't remember the age I was at, but it had to be around 5, 6, 7 years old. I ain't gonna lie, I used to be so interested in books, which is I forget what the first book I was reading, but yeah, I used to be so interested in books and how they were made and even just looking at one how they were crafted. So I guess the first earliest memory of me being creative was writing my own books, like this series, and then binding the book myself. I took the papers, I cut them,
Uh,
I glued the sides. One version I took strings and actually string around it, made the cover and binded it myself. And I probably did a good four of those type of books growing up. But that was my first iteration. Little did I know that I was into telling stories and stuff, but that was the first thing I really did. And then there's different chapters. There was one chapter where I met this painter back home. After seeing her and her story about painting, it got me interested into painting. But before that, in classes, I used to be sketching, drawing all the time. Me and my friend would have a little competition,
who could sketch
car or
different
whatever.
stories, make the most interesting
Um,
thing, whatever's the coolest, most sticking out.
we say we got build houses, so like we'll draw houses. So we'll see who could draw the best house, who could draw the best convertible, best car, yada yada. So then, because of that, I started drawing. When I met the woman, I even have her painting somewhere in my room someplace. The first painting she gave me, I got interested in painting then, and then it wasn't until high school, 10th grade, my back home we had to take U.S. Virgin Islands history class. So our USVI history teacher, she gave the whole class an assignment to create a commercial for the Virgin Islands, a tourism
Mm-hmm.
commercial. So that was technically the first time I picked up the camera and
What
shot
age was
around the
that?
island, put together my whole video. You said what?
How old were you then?
10th grade? How old are we in 10th
10th
grade?
grade?
10th grade.
16 maybe?
Yeah.
15, 16?
The legal age to drink is 18 in New York,
Yeah.
right? Well, in the
21.
US.
21.
Oh, 21. Well, the legal age to get into certain venues is 18, but the legal age to drink is 21.
Correct.
I probably was 15 or 16 when she gave me that assignment.
15,
She
16.
gave us the assignment. I went on and shot it. My father helped me, but I did most of the work. That was the first time I even edit. I remember editing in what was that software on? I forgot the name of it. What was it called? iMovie or something
Yeah, oh
like
my
that.
gosh, that reminds me, bro. I feel like the first things I ever tried to clip up together was just iMovie little videos and just. Oh my, that reminds me. So I remember something in high school that I made was actually it was like a boxing trailer, and it was a little spoof type trailer thing of my one homie Josh and my other friend Eduardo. It was a Puerto Rican kid and a Puerto Rican Mexican kid, and it was a fake boxing trailer. It was about to be on HBO pay-per-view, and it was like the fight over the island, and it was just little quick cuts of them going like this and swinging left and right, and that was I just remember making this iMovie trailer, and it was just fun as hell to just make it, right? And I was like, oh shit, I made something. I don't think that
Hmm.
was like necessarily the first thing I made, but that just reminded me of that.
That was me with iMovie. I was trying to figure out how to even use it. I didn't like the tourism. Everybody looked at my thing. I didn't let everybody in the class was like, "Nah, you got the best commercial, man." My parents was proud. They was always talking about it. They was
Mm-hmm.
sharing it with their families and friends. But that was the first time I cut something in iMovie. And since then, I got so interested in wanting to make more videos. That same summer, me and my friends, I just started writing scripts because back home we got no resources and that. So I just
Yeah.
started writing scripts, and from there on, we just started making skits, and lo and behold, now I'm in New York chasing the dreams.
So it's for a lot of people. I feel like it starts out as just pure love, pure enjoyment of, oh my God, just wanted to make this thing, and then I did. And eventually, slowly but surely, it always just becomes more and more serious. And I think
Yeah,
once things become much more serious is when these other feelings come into creation. things like doubt, right? So I feel like when you originally start creating, it's very free, pure, you're just doing something because you want to. Then once you start to get more serious, start doing more work into your creations, maybe more preparation, more literal hours into things, that's when it starts to feel more serious. You're having more sacrifices and things like that. But with all that in mind, it's all to say, once after you started really creating, when did you feel like there was a point where doubt started to creep in? And where sometimes these negative feelings started to affect your creative brain. And it started to maybe not every single time be this free, enjoyable thing, rather than sometimes you might get caught up in the seriousness of things, the sacrifice of things, whatever the actual grind you're actually doing, which causes fear and doubt. So for y'all, if that is something even y'all even ever experienced, when do you think that kind of hit you, and what type of things did you do to get over that or work through it right now?
That probably happened in my. That's something that in my 20s. I don't. When I was a teen, even going into 2021, I don't think until maybe mid 20s, 24, 25, I even ever had a any sort of feeling like that, honestly. And it's not constant. I think getting into corporate, we can get into later, and things of that nature, the beginnings of corporate, even as an intern, like you start to see systematically, will take systematic measures to make you feel as if what you're creating or what you're doing isn't good enough because there's a ladder. They force you to feel that way. And somebody has to be on the bottom of the ladder and somebody has to be on the top. And if you're not necessarily on the top of the ladder, at some point they're going to make you feel as if you have to go through these people to get to the top. So therefore, what you're making isn't at the top. So I think for me, at least, that's my outlook. Once corporate starts to get in the mix, that's when a lot of those types of things can happen. I think up until again my mid 20s, I'm very delusional as a human, and I'm not gonna say very. I am to an extent, and I think that's healthy because I think a lot of successful people do have delusion to an extent.
Yeah,
We all probably do on
yeah,
this
people
call.
speak about that a lot. They talk
Um,
about how much delusion is
And I'm
necessary in
delusional as
success.
shit.
But yeah, that's where you got to have some type of balance of delusion for sure, because full on delusion where it's going to get you. But my friend, you know what I'm saying? You keep it on, Jay.
no, it's true. Right, I'm delusional as hell. I do think at times that's like it helps you puts blinders on you to where you're like you're so delusional that you're almost tunnel vision. That you're like, you ever see that commercial where it's like I don't know if it's Tom Brady or what the who the actually it was Kaepernick, I believe, and it's a Super Bowl commercial and it's beats and he's in the bus and everybody he's arriving into a to a town for a game, an
Mm-hmm.
away game, and everybody's outside the bus beating on the windows and throwing shit, and he's got the Beats headphones on and he's like
Because noise
canceling out
canceling.
all the
Yeah.
noise. And he walks out the bus and everybody's yelling in his face in slow mo and he's just walking past them. That's kind of how I feel sometimes up until 23, 24, where it's like, oh, that's trash. That's not good. You get to just, I was able to just work and not really think about the judgment of it per se. It was like, if you like it, you do. If you don't, you don't. Again, I think corporate structures put you in this mind of like, you're on the bottom of the totem pole. So
Mm-hmm.
you must be making some bullshit or some lower quality shit, at least than the people who are at the top. So for me, I think certain points I had started to feel like, oh, maybe I have some doubt. I'm seeing people come from all these big companies at the time. And here I am interning at a record label. And I thought I was a music nerd or I thought I knew everything. There's
Yeah,
always going to be
so
somebody who quote unquote knows more, but
yeah, so it
that's
didn't always really start
subjective.
coming until it was like external things, right? External pressures or other. I guess realistically, in a way, because throwing yourself into a workforce, it's impossible not to compare to things that you see. Whether it's just like whatever your journey is, whatever your position is, wherever you're at with it, your responsibilities, however you're getting paid for those responsibilities, and everything in between. But I feel like that's what's up, and I feel like that's very grateful in a way to only experience that externally and much later in life. What about you, Amari? Do you feel
All
like
right.
there was a certain point that fear or doubt ever hit you and did anything to your creativity, or haven't hit you yet, or never will hit you? What do you think?
I don't know. No, I'm human, bro. Fear is always hitting me every day. I remember a couple weeks ago, it was like New Year's Eve, I think it was, or the day before New Year's Eve. A friend of ours, we had a whole manifestation party. That's what they call it, Jermaine, a manifestation party.
Vision board, yeah.
Vision board party, excuse me. And One of the questions they asked, well, one was going around asking questions, and one of the questions they asked was, "Is there anything that you fear?" And I said my answer was, I do fear. The only thing I really fear in life is, though I know I'm delusional to the point where I know I'm gonna make it, and I know all my dreams are gonna come true. This is why I'm here in New York doing what I gotta do. I've been here for 10 years doing that thing, but
Mm-hmm.
something that was in the back of my mind, because I look at some of my other friends who've been working hard, doing their thing for years and years, and still yet got no traction whatsoever. It always sits in the back of my head, like, damn, I could be this delusional, but will my delusion really carry me this far? There's that saying where there's that saying, whatever you put your mind to. What's the exact saying again? You
What's
could be
something
whatever
like
you put your mind to, something like that.
just like a manifestation thing? You can make whatever happen. You think whatever, make it happen. If you can think it, you can do
Right,
it. Type thing.
right. And there is some truth to that, but on the other end, for most people, you say you want to be this and that, and they do the work, but do they ever get really far in it? So that's something like that's always stayed in the back of my head as I keep grinding towards what is it that I'm trying to achieve for my goals. But I try to push that out of my head all the time. It's something that it revisits my consciousness, but I try not to let it affect my consciousness or allow me to get into this state
Mm-hmm.
of doubt or full fear.
Whatever despair
And
or
just
just
to Jermaine's
yeah.
point too, is working in corporate, it kind of like, I don't know, it not water down, but shift your creativity a bit. You're not creating for fun anymore or for yourself anymore. You're creating to meet a quota or to meet numbers or statistics
Yeah, so that's
or
exactly what I was
to meet
curious
your
about
deliverable.
too. Is exactly what you're saying. Just meet your deliverables, meet these quotas, basically take care of these responsibilities. But for people who are working in corporate but working creative positions in corporate, it's in a way corporatizing your creativity. So for both of
Hmm.
y'all, what would you say over the last 10 years of even just being side by side in your own individual journeys and working together and working apart? How do you feel like what was the hardest part of separating your personal creative brain with corporatizing your creativity for work?
For me, it's just time.
Just
The
time?
hardest part is just figuring out how to best use your time, you know what I'm saying? Because you're still young, you're fresh out of college. So most people would say in your 20s is the time when you take to fuck up or party or do the most outrageous things now before you hit your 30s. So in terms of trying to balance your own creative life with your creative job, how much time are you willing to put in either respective parts of your life, even including family time, your social life, your personal downtime without trying to create, but just relaxing.
Yeah, balancing all
Yeah,
your
that's
different
really
responsibilities, being responsible to yourself, your craft, your family, your
yeah,
audience, whatever your mission is, and having that balance between feeding your ego and feeding your purpose. And what about you,
yeah.
Jay? When you think about what is the hardest parts about corporatizing creativity or how to balance that, what does it look like for you?
For me, it almost is like it's funny, right? Because you'll get employed by these big companies, you'll get employed by these big corporations, and they're looking for you into a system they already have. So creatively, socially, they already have a way that they like to work and they have their own voice, they have their own identity. The company I work for now, so they've already got a aesthetic. Everything is already predetermined. They want you to fit into whatever they've already got going on, and they
Mm-hmm.
want you to shape whatever you're offering them to fit this mold of what they've established before you've even worked there. I don't have anybody I have to answer to. Even if I'm collaborating with somebody, if I'm working on some type of project outside of my corporation, I don't necessarily have to blend in with anybody's aesthetic or anybody's vibe because to be honest with you, I think what I'm bringing to that project or to that collaboration is going to be unique in itself. And between my idea and their idea, it's going to come together to make something kind of unique. It's not necessarily the same as trying to fit a puzzle piece into somebody else's shit. For
And
me,
yeah.
I only look at my work stuff now as when it's with a corporation. I only look at it as like I'm trying to be a puzzle piece that fits into,
You're trying to
the picture
recarve
that
this
they're
piece
building.
every time that they give you another thing, basically.
Exactly. But outside of that, the piece can be any shape I want it to be. I'm bringing something to this independent idea. We take our independent ideas, put it together, and it might end up just being a new puzzle altogether. I think that's what helps me separate what I do for my employer than from what I do with myself. So I just try to literally tell myself that all the time. I'm trying to fit into a puzzle here. I'm not necessarily doing that outside of my main day job.
Facts.
And I don't even know if that really answered the question, but
I think in a way, for me, the way that I receive that is for the masses, and not just being creative and corporate, but being a person and a human in society. It's this puzzle of life that is constantly asking you to fit these different areas. And for most people, they don't really know what shape their puzzle piece is or where they're going to fit in this puzzle. So they're constantly searching for where they fit in. And the whole time, from my perspective, I feel like it's not even about trying to fit into the puzzle. It's kind of about just making your own puzzle out of your piece.
Building around that instead of the opposite.
Building around that instead of... But that's where it's tough, because there's this puzzle of life that already exists that has things like bills, rent, your job responsibilities, let you have kids, a family. Maybe a lot of people care for people who are sick. People got to take care of themselves. It's a lot. And it's like how, and then that's where it's like that's why I really was very interested in having this conversation with y'all, especially when it comes to corporate creativity, because it's like a spark. If you don't protect it, I feel like a spark of creation inside people who are creatives' brain who work in corporate creativity can just fucking die. And you just, I'm sure y'all, without naming obviously, know people probably off the top of your head who you can see who've been in corporate creation for a long time, who are in a way just constantly fitting to whatever mold of the next piece that they have to do. And back to what you were saying, Omari, is like, when you see certain things like that in the world, I see how that type of thing brings doubt. For example, if someone is a singer and you're pursuing singing and you're a 15, 16-year-old singer and you're living in New York and you take the subway and you see these women singing in the subway and you're a girl who sings and you're like, I'm sure something could cross your mind. Damn, maybe I shouldn't try singing forever because I could be this lady. But that's where it's like everybody has to have their own resilience, their own self-drive, and what that comes with, I feel like it's everybody's own mantras, right? So if you guys do have doubt or feel these things, because I feel like both of you are two individuals who, in no other way but to say it, are able to keep your spark in a cold, dark world. And how do you think that you're able to do that? If you guys were to if you guys were to capture that into maybe one or two mantras or principles, how do you think you guys do that? Omari, you go first, man.
I don't even know if it's a mantra or principle, but one thing that keeps me going, I always think about back home and the people I'm doing it for. Because in the Virgin Islands, we don't have most people don't have the opportunities that I'm able to have right now to be able to work at a MTV or a complex, or just meet the type of people I meet here in New York, network, or have the resources or the opportunities to do the things that I'm able to do. So the only thing that I ain't like today is when I have doubt or just feeling like, damn, what am I really doing this for? I even question sometimes, why did my parents allow me to chase a career in film and TV? I mean, we look at the industry every day and the news is not good. People are losing jobs.
Yeah.
Industry is shifting. Films are not making that much money as they used to anymore. Same with TV. Streaming has just changed the whole landscape. But regardless of everything, though, every time I get that doubt, I just think about all my friends back home, my family back home, the other artists back home who are doing their best, having fun creating, and it just makes me happy again and be like, no, I'm doing this for them because I want to make sure I could go home with all the opportunities possible. If I could strike a deal, I'd be like, come home and be like, we're looking for VI artists, actors, filmmakers. I just want to be able to come home with those type of opportunities and give it to other people.
Yeah, and I think that answers more than you even think, in a way of, I feel like that's just, in a real garden way of putting it, I feel like that is just respecting your roots, right? and really having the utmost respect to your roots, that your roots is your purpose. And I feel like
Hmm.
with you explaining that to me, it makes me think, you know what, this guy is able to keep his spark so well because he's in touch with his roots, and he has respect for his roots, and that is part of his purpose. And the
Hmm.
strongest trees in the biggest forests have the deepest and the strongest roots.
True.
And that's what
And
I
I ain't
that's
even gonna
you know.
lie.
Yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
Before I let Jermaine go, I would say I ain't gonna even lie. Sometimes I get inspired by other people back home with their creativity and things they're doing. Just showcasing their talent, telling their stories and stuff like that. Even seeing Bad Bunny do his performance at a Super
Mm-hmm.
Bowl and how he brought Caribbean culture on onto this big
Yeah, la
stage.
Caribe.
Like, I was just sitting there thinking about it. Damn, for years I've been trying to craft what my voice is. I know I'm starting to get these signs from different people showing me, your voice belongs where you came from. So that's why even now with everything I try to do, my creativity is like only representing the Virgin Islands in the best way possible.
Virgin Islands to the universe.
Facts.
Big facts. Big facts. How about you, Jay? You got a principle, a mantra, a story even that makes you think about your why, your purpose, some shit that keep you going, or just whatever you want to share to the people that's maybe that can help them, something that can help yourself if you was younger wanted to hear something from yourself.
And I people get tired of me saying it. Oh, God is the greatest for real. For real. I'm in my corny era, as I like to call it. It's tongue in cheek, but God is the greatest, man. I've never taken God, and everybody has their different idea. I'm very specific about I'm not spiritual, believe in God. It's two different things to me. I'm a God believer. Never have not done that and kept that a part of anything I had going on. And that for me has just alone kept any type of spark that I've ever had. I've had some of the oddest encounters, whether in corporate and freelancing. And if you want to take it outside of work terms, just in terms of passion, I've had some of the weirdest, unexplainable situations that I've been in, whether they be good or bad. And I always have felt like every reason God keeps pushing me to do what I'm doing. And then more of Mars thing too. Like, there's no shortage of stories to really be told. And it doesn't even stick to just film. You can tell stories through music, through anything, honestly. And then anything I've done, I've always remembered there's no shortage of stories to be told for about where I'm from, about my family, about my own story, about human life in general. But I think most people look at human life through the lens of where they're from or the people they're around.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from a very specific town, and there's no shortage of stories to be told from that. A lot
Big
of the
DC.
stories we get from, you know what I mean? A lot of the stories we get from there are from rappers, and that's great. We didn't have rappers growing up, to be honest with you. So those are new stories to me. We had go-go bands. That's most of the stories we were told. I didn't grow up listening to rap like that. I had to go on my way. Now I'm realizing there's a lot of film stories to be told. We've had flashes of that in other media. People like Issa Rae have put characters from PG County and done this and that. And we have a of actors and comedians, but they haven't told my story per se yet. I want to be able to tell my side of the story. And that alone, in the same kind of vein of having keeping your roots intact, I have never strayed away from being like, all right, I'm gonna move to somebody else's city and start acting like a New Yorker and I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
Brooklyn stories. Nah, even if the setting's different, the principles from where I'm from and how I grew up are what drives me to be like, yo, people got to hear this. There's a lot to say about culture in DC and Maryland. And I feel like people are just starting to scratch the surface for real about or scratching the surface of what we're able to offer and what we go through. And so that's what really keeps me going. And again, God I feel like has really pushed me to be able to tell those stories because
God did.
otherwise, what the hell am I doing it for? You know what I'm saying?
God did. Yes, sir. No,
Part
but
of
I think with that God first believing in God is also, I think, very important to remember that God is inside of you. No matter what type of denomination you are, what type of God you believe in, whoever it may be, that power is inside of you, and that you don't have to find it externally. You can always find it internally. That's just something how I see a perspective of when it comes to faith. I feel like more than anything, you got to have faith in yourself. And you are God.
I
So
ain't like
believing
go-
in yourself is
I ain't like
believing in
going back to the
God.
whole.
What happened?
I was gonna say I ain't like going back to the whole fair thing. That's one thing that also helps me not be so fearful. Keep reminding myself like, yo, he's with you. He's right there
Yeah.
with you every step of it. And it's like, if I have doubt, that means I have doubt in God. So I be trying to tell myself, yo, you gotta learn to trust the path that you're on right now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just sit back and relax. I'm saying I'm not the driver here. I just need to sit back.
But G.
Something my father used to say every time we go on a road trip, me and my brother would ask him like, how long till we there, or where are we going? And he was always like, relax, you're in the passenger. Just relax.
Relax, man.
The reason,
Yeah.
oh, to both of y'all point, I think about this a lot. Like you said, believing in God. Therefore, what you said is doubting yourself is doubting God. It goes hand in hand. And to me, there's a reason that a lot of people of color, we have this long, complicated relationship, specifically with religion, but I would never say with God. And I'm sure both of y'all can speak to that. I'm not gonna speak for the Caucasians today. Y'all got your own thing going on. That's cute. But a lot of people of color is Black History Month. A lot of people of color have this long, deep-rooted relationship and connection to God. And I do think that comes from going through hardship and struggle. A lot of marginalized communities have gone through struggle. And I think that does push you to want to believe in something, but I think that's also beautiful too. A lot of people try to spin it to be like, and this is on a religious tip, but a lot of people try to spin it to be like we were forced, we were fed God. We were like, and I think in some ways we were forced religion. But I think God has always lived inside of a lot of cultures, especially when it comes to people of color. And I think there's a reason that even through all the hardship, whenever you go visit some of these places, whenever you talk to people from these communities, from these places, whether you're Black, you're Caribbean, you're South American, you're from Spain, you're from anywhere, there's a reason why that is at the center of a lot of those places, because I think a lot of people have experienced hardships in some way, shape, or form. Colonizers have gone through some shit too. I'm not saying they haven't, but
when it comes to religion, religious colonization is the biggest that there is. When it comes to the holy wars, crusades, Islamic wars, everything of that nature. Modern day, of course, the war over. Not even war. The genocide. But you know what? We gotta be light on these topics, these situations, because they like to deplatform motherfuckers.
they do. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it. That's a whole separate conversation.
We got our garden within discussions in. We got our combos in. We got some good chats in. This was the first one. Man, we've had these types of conversations low-key for 10 plus years. It's now time to just share with motherfuckers. Let people in on the sauce, on the story. Let them have appreciation for what we get to appreciate every day. But let's end on a light note. Jay, you was in LA this weekend, NBA All-Star Weekend. Any highlights?
I was moving around a little bit. Any highlights? There were definitely some highlights. My highlights were honestly, and this just to tell y'all, I'm at a point where I don't work is one thing, but I'm a professional life enjoyer, man. My highlight was just hanging out with my friends the day of my flight.
There we go.
Even through all the clients, and I ran into so many people. I ran into Jalen Taylor, who I roomed with in college.
Oh, Jalen, big shout out to Jalen.
At the Adidas office. I got to see Diego, my other roommate from college. He's been working with Adidas for a while. I didn't think about it until I saw him and we chopped it up. And catching up is the first time I've seen him in like maybe eight years or so. So, and then I got to see my boy Diego. Diego was great. He's doing well. I won't put his personal business out on the stream, but Diego's doing really well.
Yes.
Preparing for the Olympics out in LA 2028. So he's excited for that.
Big West Coast,
I got to see big West Coast man, bro. But those are really my highlights. Seeing Mosiah, seeing all my friends that day, and after all the clients we worked for, and all the shoots we did, and the streamers I was talking to, and this and that. Honestly, just connecting with my friends and having some sense of familiarity was my highlight. So
amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
What about you, Omar? You got any recent highlights, recent personal life highlights you want to share?
I did a gallery for the first time.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow, I'm playing sound effects for the boys who can't hear them. But I just played some air horns.
Friday, I had two of my photos in a gallery. Trying more to come this year. Somebody even told me while I was there, yo, you got to be in a gallery one of these days. And I was like, it's coming soon. Really working on it. Other highlights, as I said earlier, I'm a producer at Complex. I got that position back in January. So it's been 5 years of hard work trying to get to a position. But the fact is, I got that position. I got the position in corporate, but I still don't feel fulfilled creatively. So this is why I'm taking a shift in terms of what I'm doing myself. So another highlight is that after years of really not producing or making films with the voice that I want to use, March 28th, me and my friends are making our first film.
Let's go. March 28th.
We got 4 more left to make after that. So I've been writing and editing and
Big goals, big creative goals this year.
talking, business meetings, all that stuff. So I guess that's my highlight. Hey, I'm doing it with all my friends. So
Of course. Of
I call this
course.
season of my life "Kids That Play." That's what it is. Because I'm trying to get back to that
What are you calling it?
playing around with.
What did you say you were calling it? Let the kids play? What is it? Kids that play. I fuck with it.
Kids that play, man.
Kids
Just
that
trying to have
play.
fun with this. Just trying to have fun with creativity again, man. Because getting older and you're worried about the bills you gotta pay and
Yep.
just
Facts.
taking life more seriously. But sometimes can't let the hardships of life stress you out from having fun with your own creativity.
You can't, y'all. But man, I think that was a great combo, y'all. We about to wrap up the stream right here. Oh, my highlight.
He just hit on
Oh,
that.
shit. Listen, y'all know what this weekend was. Valentine's Day weekend. I've been with my beautiful, lovely lady for about 5 years now. We had a great weekend. Saturday chilled out. Shout out to that. Saturday chilled out, relaxed, ordered in all day, vibed out. Actually hopped on here on the Twitch, played some Split Fiction, vibed out. Next day we did the dinner thing. Last night we had dinner at this place. It's similar to a Fogo de Chao type place, a Brazilian steakhouse, but it was delicious. It was delicious. It was interesting though. The highlights of the restaurant. How usually those type of food places, they bring around the meat, cut it or whatever, all that shit. Usually that's the best part of it. But honestly, every piece of meat was not even that good. The best part of it was the other food that they had at the little buffet area. They had this oxtail. Oh my God. Amazing. They had oxtail that was smacking. They had these grilled wings that smacked, some mac and cheese, some roasted mushrooms. They had snow crab legs in the buffet salad bar. Those were the highlights of that motherfucking night. Food, good eats. That's something that's very important to me, very important to my wife is good eats. We always have good eats. But that was my highlights. They forced my highlights out of me. We gotta let know what the fuck going on, man. We got our 4-minute outro
Hey,
sound.
hold on,
Y'all got
hold on.
any last words?
I need
No, you
one
got
more
4
question.
minutes of sound right now. You got 4 minutes of sound.
Because this man been asking us questions off stream. I have one question now.
All right.
So we all talking about creativity, self-doubt. What do you find in creating? Tony, I've been begging you for years.
Oh, here we go. Where's the music? All right, on the real note, you can't hear it, but I just played the Sweet Tony sound in this moment. Y'all can't hear it either, but it's playing on the stream. It's playing on the stream right now. It's coming soon. This is gonna be the first one that's gonna come on there. There's a project that me and Jay actually, I remember one time we put together track lists and some themes for a project. I'm actually gonna put those songs back together again, add a couple more to them, put it out. It's gonna be demo nostalgia, and then after that is when I'm gonna start putting out new music. But I gotta pay respect to the stuff that I already created that honestly is so fucking good when I listen back and hear it. But it's coming out.
Got some.
No later than 90 days, you'll get at least 10 more songs from Sweet Tony on all platforms, or you can slap the fuck out of me. Oh God.
All right.
Y'all heard it here.
90 days. May 17th. If I ain't see no music out
Yep.
before May 17th, I'm coming to Philly. I'm gonna slap the fuck out of you. That's
Oh
what I'm
my
saying right now.
God. But it's not gonna happen because
Word
it's
is
coming.
bond.
The people gonna get that soy. But again, we about to end stream. We about to continue talking. We about to continue talking on here. It's your boy Soy Tony. Hold up, Omari, go ahead. Give your intro. Give your outro, gang.
I was gonna add.
Oh, we doing
So, Tony,
visuals. We doing visuals.
So I gotta interview myself. I got content to make. So let me know when you're ready to make some music. Put out some music, and I need that interview.
We there. We doing it. Jay, any last words? We got I Love You by Shanice playing right now as the outro if you are familiar.
Look at the joint right there. You know, man, everybody just stay blessed and stay healthy. It's a lot going on in this world. It's just a whole lot. It's a lot to be distracted by. It's a lot to overwhelm yourself with. But I think overall, remember, God is the greatest. Number 2, I think hit work, take a vacation, man. Take a vacation. We're living too much for the system, and we're not doing anything to take care of ourselves. So make sure you take a vacation, get some sun. And a vacation doesn't have to mean on an all-inclusive resort in Jamaica.
God.
A vacation can be going down the street and going to that local park and sitting outside and putting a boombox next to you and playing some tracks that you ain't heard since a kid. Take a vacation, man. Don't
Take a
work too hard.
vacation.
Don't think too hard.
And remember
My
your
last
roots.
couple words.
Your roots
My
are
last
important.
word
What's your last
is
word?
hard
Last word,
work.
Omar. You still got 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Go ahead.
My last word. Have fun. Just have fun with this shit, bro.
Have fun with it,
God
man.
didn't put us on this earth to work every day. We meant to be in the garden.
Oh, God.
frolicking,
Talk to him. Tell him,
eating
Omar.
fruits and veggies, having fun. Let's have fun again, guys. Listen, we gonna get our bills paid. We gonna stay healthy.
Yes.
But most importantly, just have fun with your life. Enjoy it while you have it, because these days you're never gonna get again.
Never.
And don't live with any regrets about what if or damn I should have done this. No, let's start doing it. And have
Tomorrow
fun with it.
never comes. It's only today. We got Omari, we
today.
got Jay. And remember, don't believe anything you see. Only half of what you hear. It's your boy Soy Tony. We out of here. Remember, stay rooted, stay grounded, stay blessed.